Yeah, here we go. Saluting the firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, and the truckers, and the bakers, and the firefighters, LOV. On the mountain, towards the mountain we go. Special rainbow, dragon drill, emergency, geopolitics. North Americans unite, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, defense, dragon army, protocols, independent athlete, artist, athlete, philosopher. Friday before Sabbath, those are the firefighters, LOV. Big rainbow rock and roll hugs from Rainbow Dragon. For the firefighters, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, those in the daycares who change some diapers. Today and all week, it is the 7th, celebrating 7 years, 5 years since I survived COVID right at 2020, about February, first week of February, between the first week of February and between the first week of March. I was like sick. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. Like death, pestilence, and disease. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. I know that it sounds like a hardcore death metal trash, hardcore metal trash, trash rock, trash metal song, death, pestilence, and disease, or like the name of an album, but that's how I felt. And right now going towards my second home, Montreal, Mont Royal, on these before the Sabbath Friday. Although financially stressed, I got a big backpack on, and that big backpack is more than 44 pounds, because right before the fridge, and in some of my videos you can see the fridge there in the community, was donated some cans and some bread, and I took some cans, some for myself, and some yogurt for my anonymous friends. So, and plus those gloves in it, with the red gloves by which I'm challenging Donald Trump. So the backpack on my back, red, my favorite color, red. My favorite color is adding a little bit of weight, so it's gonna be a little bit of overtime every time, with a little bit of weight on the back, kind of military style. Imagine, of course, I got food. I got some cranberry cans of cranberry, one for me, one for my anonymous friend, and some beans and whatever. Food donation, thank you, food donations, and for food security, yours truly, LOV, to the bakers, the butchers, the nurses, all those involved in the production and distribution of food. Even though it's my turn to pass, always encourage all to turn your heads left or right, because you never know. Brakes malfunction, citizen driver might press the accelerator instead of the brake, and it's a special yours truly, Rainbow Dragon rock and roll to the mountain. My second home, independent, geopolitical, theoretical, honest, and curious philosopher, artist. As you have that Asperger's, so I'm neurodivergent, and always have to build bridges between myself being part of this tiny minority of less than 1%, less than 0.5%, approximately 0.44%, so maybe less than 1 out of 300 has this neurological mental divergent condition known as Asperger's, and it's something which I always got to build bridges between myself and the neurotypical world. So as we go now, financially stressed towards the mountain, but joyous, grateful, thankful. I got some juice, I got some kwas, I got some hava, I got a little bit of some sweets at home, so I'm slow cooking a little bit. My anonymous friend is gonna take care of the slow cook, and left it on for a few hours, about 7 hours, so it's gonna slow cook some good Canadian, homemade Canadian cooking from yours truly, Rainbow Dragon. Some potatoes, some beef patty, some tomato paste mixed with a little bit of water, with a little bit of leeks, and some spices and some salt. So it's got about 7 ingredients total. So that's gonna make a good, delicious soup. And I tasted a little bit. It came out a bit spicy, a little bit more spicy than I was accepting. But hey, can't complain. You can just dilute it with a little bit of water. Turn your heads left and right. See here, we're on the mountain already. As you can see, the down slope, and you can see we can go up. So you can see here we are on West Mount, one of the 3 peaks of Mont Royal. We're gonna go that drill, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. Today celebrating. Today is the 7th of February, so celebrating 5 years. It's wow. Since I had COVID, and I would say I died during COVID in my underground room off St. Temple. I died there during COVID, and having died there during COVID, of course, I'm being reborn, and nothing that I want to go back to. I just live carpe diem it every day, carpe diem it every day, and that's what it is with that carpe diem, with hope for tomorrow, and Hopefully tomorrow when I see people hugging, kissing, and working out, training, exercising, and hear some goods of charity. That's always give yours truly special Dragon versus Trump edition. Have been able to continue to challenge Donald Trump to a boxing match on the Canadian-US border ever since 2018 when Donald Trump imposed tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel. See how it goes? It goes down, 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 and there it still goes up, up, up. So here we're actually at this on the mountain already. Westmount, one of the three peaks. Westmount proper. Well, you got Westmount and you got Mount Royal, and of course you got the Outramount, the three-peak mountain. My second home, Mount Royal, and my mistress. We're gonna go check out my mistress. Yours truly, androgynous, pansexual, rainbow dragon, aspie artist, athlete, philosopher. Encouraging all to drop down, give me some push-ups. Let's go, North Americans unite. Like that democratic fusion between the European Union and no tariffs, and have been eminent will challenge Donald Trump to a boxing match on the Canadian-US border. And of course, was born in the United States 3 times in past lives, previous incarnations, once as a woman. You get that 50-50 now. Twice as a man, both times I was born as a man. I served in the United States Armed Forces. In the same United States Armed Forces, 2 different wars, 156 years apart, and always encouraging all to work out, train, exercise, and working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be my mission and therapy of choice. So here we gotta turn our left or right. Gotta look it down. See, it goes down, down, down. And there it goes up, up, up. So here we're kind of at the midpoint, midsection of the mountain system, Mount Royal, which has 3 peaks right in the center. Between the north and the south, slightly south, but between the east and the west, it's kind of really in between the east and the west in many positions. The position of the mountain on Mount Royal, you can check it out on Wikipedia and other outlets online to take a look at the view. And of course, Hawk Island, Montreal, aka Hawk Island, my home in this life and in a parallel life, also looks like a hawk, like a type of bird from above. At least to me, you can check the island, and it's surrounded by a big river. It's a big metropolis island, 2.5 million people. So it's we gotta get that union. Freestyle as I go, rock and roll always for the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the truckers, the grocery store clerks, all involved in the production, distribution of food. And just before I left was a bit moody, but then I got started feeling good, and said, hey, I got a lot of say my gratitude, which is great for mental health, to be grateful, because all this civilization is a privilege. And I said, hey, I'm celebrating 5 years since I died of COVID right in 2020, February, March. And of course, now I'm making a little bit of a meditation thanks to those revisions, which were revised by the CIA protocols, opening the possibility that actually the COVID virus was in fact an engineered virus and a bioweapon, whatever the case may be. You have to do more in depth, but my trinity on COVID has been, is, and will be thus. First and foremost, I do not know what caused COVID. Second, I believe it was snakes which transmitted COVID. And third, I cannot rule out another possibility. XYZ, bioweapon, and engineering, and mistake in the lab, or what have you. Fourth dimension to that trinity. So first and foremost, I believe it was snakes, but I'm not sure, because it's not 100%, right? It's like 50-50. So believing in snakes, meaning that I cannot rule out another possibility, right? I cannot rule out another possibility, but what I do know for sure, without a doubt, is that before COVID in 2019, October, November, as an independent geopolitical, theoretical, honest, and theorist and fitness captain on a fitness journey, have predicted an international conflagration based on several parameters of analysis, and having consequence and concordium, of course, created the workout training program system to go in a consequence with it, of course, to create a workout training program system, which I created to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario back in 2019 in October. And that's what I got, So that's what I had to survive COVID, and that's what it is with that, and that's what I got, for the XYZ, and that's what it is, So it's something which we gotta get that consequential to get it on to do and get it on the now, So in 2019, I predicted an international conflagration similar and parallel to what's happening now. I got proof of work online, of those statements, and I've been creating a workout training program system to go hand in hand with such an event, of which I'm very proud to have created, called the General Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout, of which myself have performed more than 372 sessions. 372, so I'm really taking lots of pride in that creation, and it's open source really online. I'm encouraging citizens across North American Collective. I have been and will continue to call for the public-private partnership to mass finance, public-private partnership to mass finance, public-private partnership to mass finance, the aforementioned, so that's what I used to do, to mass finance the aforementioned, of course, the aforementioned formulations, and of course the formulations of the integration of my workout training program system across high schools, across pretty much high schools, because it's a simple, effective, and efficient workout program system, and which requires no equipment really. But of course, what it's meant to do, it increases general overall fitness. So it's not meant, of course, it's not meant for aesthetics. It's not meant for building muscular, aesthetic reasons and beautification of the muscles, right? It's just built to increase general overall fitness. That's what it was constructed, built on several parameters. It has a complexity behind it because it's really scientific, but it's really incorporates the cardio. It's called the general integrated total body training system, and that's what it is with that. So that's what it is for the XYZ. So we gotta get it on the XYZ for that. So that's what I gotta go doing with that. So again, back celebrating today's celebratory march. 5 years between first week of February and first week of March. Approximately, that's when I had COVID, and I got 3 times vaccinated. I got 3 vaccines, triple vaxxed, and I am careful about public hygiene, because you never know microbes, bacteria, and germs. And now that just about 11 days ago came in the news that there was a revision possibility by the CIA that in fact COVID was engineered. It was made by science, man-made, in other words, man-made, man, woman, whatever the case may be. Doesn't matter, bottom line, So see how it goes down, and there it goes up above. So here we're about the midsection of the mountain, one of the peaks of the mountain system known as Mount Royal. So that's what it is, and celebrating 5 years since I survived COVID, and I died in my underground dragon's lair right there where I still live. I always say I died during COVID, and being reborn, nothing that I want to go back to, and I'm pretty joyous, just financially stressed, but hey, at least for 40 days, my rent's paid, and I got enough food, even if I don't purchase anything, although I have about, my phone is paid my rent, paid my phone bill, paid my electricity bill, so triple bills, phone bill, electricity bill, and rent is paid, electricity bill and phone bill is paid, and split 50-50 on Netflix, so I can watch that Umbrella Academy. Gonna watch that Umbrella Academy all Sabbath. The Sabbath is gonna be Umbrella Academy. All the season 2, season 3, season 4 if I get to it. If not, next Sabbath is gonna be season 3 this week. Sabbath is gonna be season 2 and what have you. So there we go on that. Goes up and down. So again, celebrating, marking 5 years since COVID, and I always say nothing that I want to go back to, but I was really, really sick. It was right before, then after I kind of healed, then I started being in the news. But when I started feeling sick, right in between February and March, the beginning, there wasn't declared a pandemic. So I had it before it was declared a pandemic by the WHO. So I had it before, a few weeks before. It was a month before it was declared the pandemic, because I think by the 20th of February I was really, really sick. So I started feeling sick about between the first week of February, first week of February, started feeling sick. Then it got worse. Between the 2 weeks, it got like 10 days, 11 days, it got really worse. And then I started healing at the end of February, first week of March. So, but it did last at least 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I thought I was gonna die like 5 days. It's just thanks to my, I guess, anonymous friend who was there, did whatever he could, and we didn't know what it was. And then I had it. Then I survived, and I heard in the news COVID. So that's what I had, and I survived it. And many other surviving scars, being depressed, being suicidal. In 2017, I marked being depressed and suicidal. So I was marked being depressed and suicidal, and that's it for the doing with that. And when I survived being depressed, suicidal in 2017, that's when I got out of being depressed and suicidal. When I crossed Canada coast to coast, that event really changed my life. That made me establish the strongest esprit de corps, with my fellow Canadians, the strongest esprit de corps, my fellow Canadians. So that was 2017, 2017, August, September 2017. August, went in British Columbia, Vancouver. Then, of course, went to Nova Scotia in September. So that event really made me come out of being depressed. I had a revelation. I said so many things to do, to see across these through North Strong and Free, across Quebec, Canada, North America, because I'm a Quebec, Canadian, North American, and I established a strong esprit de corps in 2017 with my fellow Quebecers, Canadians, family, consider y'all family, Quebecers, Canadians, and my brothers and sisters in the USA. The king is absent, fellow Canadians. Time for the Republic. The king is absent. The king is absent. It's time for the Republic. The king is absent. It's time for the Republic. The king is absent. The king is absent. The king is absent. The king is absent. It's time for the Republic. So being that it's time for the Republic, it's time to get that Democratic Republic, North American Union. It's time to do a census. We see, assess everybody who's been here since 2017 to see, and assess everybody who's been here since 2017 to see and assess everybody who's been here. Let's see a census, a North American integrated census, a common passport, common currency. It's time. I'm not a Trump supporter. I've been challenging now Trump to a boxing match. I want Granddaddy Trump to fight me in a boxing match and to sign 3 executive orders. 1 to finance Medicare. 1 to get 10% of the billionaires in order to finance vets wellness, and to rebuild the North American inner city, aka the ghettos, to rebuild the ghettos and get that defense coast to coast. North Americans unite. We're gonna play that defense, security service only. We're gonna play that defense, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, security service only. We're gonna play that defense, security coast to coast only, and rebuilding right here in North America. The North American civilizational complex, my dream. Fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership. Financially stressed, but what is money? Money is to buy, sell. We gotta get that DRT, because that is the only solution. Paradoxically, as an Asp, got Asperger's, so I have special interest, also known as special obsessive interest. So I do not use the appellation terminology obsessive, because obsessive would of course be something which would be obsessive, would be something which be more negative connotation. So being that it's a more negative connotation, I'm going to use the other terminology, use special interest. So my Holy Trinity is, as many aspects we have, if not all, have these special interests where we are very focused, super intense, and super in it. Even today, I spend a few hours. Sometimes I just don't realize. I go back and forth and do geopolitics, because that's my kingdom, my realm. And again, I predicted what's happening now in 2019, and my theories, protocols, initiatives are fundamentally and only for the defense of the collective North American civilizational complex. Because the North American civilizational complex, strictly and only for defensive purposes, security, service, and defense, and rebirth to be totally understood. Security, service, and defense, and rebirth to be totally understood. For security, service, and defense to be totally understood. For security, service, and defense, that is something that has to be grasped and understood fully. That my dream, when I say pledge your allegiance, thou art family, friends with benefits only, 100%. 100%. Look at that's Orion's constellation, Orion. It's visible a bit, stars. You can see them blurred a bit, but paradoxically I have kind of good vision at night from far away, but not so good vision from far away during the daylight when the sun is out anyways. I guess sometimes we live in paradoxes, myself with the scars, the trauma, the retrograde amnesia, memory loss. Mostly 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and moving from a moldy place, being depressed, suicidal, started working out, training, exercising, and coming out of being depressed and losing between 80 and 93 pounds, and creating my workout training program system, and writing tens of thousands of pages of philosophy, initiatives, and protocol, mainly public-private partnership based, and based fundamentally on my dream. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, which is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership, the North American Collective, to rebuild, reconstruct, and get that two complementary covenant and cooperative public-private partnership institutions, the Dragon Army, pledge your allegiance to our family, friends who benefit only, aka Dragon Army, the North American Integrated Security and Service Force, or the North American Common Defense Force, North American Defense Force, or the New Defense Force for Security Service and Defense Security Service and Emergency Response, integrated and complementary to the DGA, Dancing Goddess Army, the North American Integrated Dance League, to be for the environment, to rebuild the environment, and of course plant trees and dance, and my will to build on the Canadian-US border, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum. Let's get PPP. The North American People's Imperial Coliseum, auctioning everything that I'm wearing, $1 million each. The boots, the hat, the underwear, the socks, the garments, the jeans, the jacket, $1 million each item. Gonna give 50%, half to my anonymous friend of that, or each $1 million, and pay mine $10,000 and buy the first bricks for both the North American People's Imperial Coliseum and the Forgotten Goddess Temple, my dream, or the Forgotten Goddess Temple, also the temple of the goddess of $1 million names, of the $1 trillion names, $1 billion names, $1 million names of the goddess GODDSS on the Canadian-US border, because I credit my survival to the goddess, by which of course the goddess credited yours truly trillions of kisses from the starlit heavens above, the dances with the sun and the moon, trillions of kisses by which I laid the foundations for the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, the empire, the North American Collective, 21st century new democratic republic, to be financed, founded first and foremost by 718 trillions of kisses. 718 trillions of kisses, 718 trillions of kisses. See, it still goes up on the mountain, and here we're kind of midway. So the first kingdom to be founded by those trillions of kisses, kisses by the trillions, marching steps by the trillions, lots of rock and roll, kisses, hugs, please, with consent, hygiene, HUG, hug like you never hugged before. That is the main message. Pledge your allegiance, rock and roll 24/7. Independent, geopolitical, theoretical, honest, and theorist. I explain an awful lot about me and you and us. Pledge your allegiance, friends with benefits only to our family. Gonna salute LOV to the truckers on the road, please, as Friday strippers, if they stopped in a strip across the North American Collective, give the truckers a discount. Maybe they're already financially stressed, give them some 50% off. Rainbow dragon kisses. Truckers, butchers, bakers, nurses, and public workers, those in the fast foods, flipping some burgers, cheeseburgers, double cheeseburgers, double, triple hamburgers. We're making some pizzas, making some fries, doing all that good fast food and delivering it. Gotta send some LOV to them. Thinking about you, seeing you across North America now. Bust a dance move for the DGA, for the Sabbath commences at midnight. The Sabbath of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom begins Friday at midnight and ends at sunset Sunday. Dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom Sabbath commences midnight at Friday and ends Sunday at sunset. So it begins tonight at midnight and ends Friday. Friday begins tonight at midnight, so basically 1 minute past, it's already Saturday midnight and 1 minute, so at midnight Friday, so basically it's Saturday because it's at midnight, so it's between Friday night, late night, last second of Friday and first second of Saturday officially, because if it's at midnight, right, it's like in between. So it's like really Saturday, 12 a.m., right? Last second of Friday, first second of Saturday. That's when it begins, right? And ends Sunday at sunset. So it lasts about almost 45 hours. The Sabbath lasts almost 45 hours for recreation, for pleasure, for purpose, Let's get that North American Collective Workers Party. Let's get that. North American Collective Workers' Party. Let's get that North American Collective Workers' Party, my solution. The DRT, debt refusion theory. DRT, debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. The debt refusion theory. That is the only solution as where we are now for the North American Collective, you know. The debt refusion theory. Fundamentally, that's what it is. Now we're gonna have to discuss it, so I'm gonna discuss the DRT right away. But again, sending some LOVE to the butchers, bakers, nurses, truckers, grocery store clerks, all those involved in the production and the distribution of food. I just gonna be prudent here. Gonna cross because it's a little bit on the more dangerous corner, so I gotta be prudent myself, you know. So it's just gonna go down. See how it goes down, down, down. Down. So here we're atop, and there it still goes up, up, up. So we're in Westmount. So we're gonna discuss that DRT, debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. Why do I say that is the only solution, or something very, very similar? Well, to the fact that today, my brothers and sisters, we pay 46.5 billion in interest. We paid in 2024 on the public debt, on the Canadian public debt, we paid 46.5 billion in interest. That's the amount of interest. That's the amount of interest. That's the amount of interest. That is the amount of interest which we paid on the public debt. 46.5 billion. 46.5 billion. That is the amount of debt. That is the amount we paid on the debt. 46.5 billion. 46.5 billion. That is the equivalent of 46,000 million. 46,000 million. A billion has 9 zeros. Think about that. See how it goes up, 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 steep, 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 and there it goes down, 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 steep, steep, steep. So here it kind of goes down, down, down. Here are Melrose, a mountain, name of the street. So due to the fact that we paid so much interest on the public debt, there's no other way but my financial theory known as the DRT, which includes monetary integration theory in it. So monetary integration theory is exactly the financial theory which was implemented in the European Union. And of course, if you check the numbers, the interest only, I'm speaking about the interest payments only on the Canadian public debt. In 2020, 2021, the interest payments were 20.3 billion, right? And then due to COVID, more than doubled. From 20.3 billion to 46.5 billion. So 20.3 double, it's 40.6. 40.6, it's 40.6. 40.6. Right? 20.3 billion times 2, it's 40.6. It more than doubled to 46.5. Because double, it's only 40.6. So it's 46.5, which we paid in 2024. So this fact, yes, due to COVID, the programs implemented, the fiscal programs, emergency economic financial programs to salvage and to keep the population, you know, from financial ruin, from starving, from being homeless on the street or rent, you know. We had to implement certain programs for COVID, emergency financial programs, Canada and many countries, many countries around the world, as a matter of fact. But I'm speaking as a Canadian, Quebecer, North American first and foremost. So, but Canada, US is pretty much the same, public, and for the most part private, because many citizens have debt, myself included, $10,000. But I don't have credit cards myself. I do not have or own credit cards. I have a credit line to the RBC Royal Bank of Canada. So we're gonna take. So again, my DRT. Why do I make the statement that is the only solution, or something very, very similar? Again, due to the fact that the interest only has more than doubled in just 3 years. So equivalency, make a financial mathematic calculation, just like an individual, individual X or Y or Z, myself, let's say, or you or something else. If the interest payments that you have to pay, or I have to pay, or somebody else has to pay on the debt more than double in 3 years, while the salary does not, because that's where it comes in, right? Financial mathematics. If the interest more than doubles in just 3 years, while the salary, most salaries in the past 5 years, the average increase for the salaries was 4.4%. Average increase in the past 5 years was 4.4%. The average salary increase in the past 5 years was 4.4%. There were more strikes, labor strikes, and I got some concessions, but even that, the average has not kept increase with the increasing cost of living. That's the problem in the past 5 years, in the past, since COVID, let's say. That most inflation and most problematic increasing of prices, while the salaries have not kept increasing. Only a little bit, because some have increased by 5, 10, 15. How many that doubled? So there you go. So if the interest payments more than double and your salary does not, that means right away you have to cut to reduce the budget, So you have to reduce the spending, right? You have to reduce the spending, You have to reduce the spending. You have to reduce whatever you spend. So whatever the case may be, you have to reduce the spending. So reducing the spending, that's the key. You have to reduce the spending. There's no other way. You have to cut. Who are you going to cut as an individual? The electricity you have to pay, the rent, the phone bill. Maybe you're going to cut Netflix. Maybe you're not going to go out to the movies. You're not going to go out to see a movie. You're not going to go out to see a movie. You're not going to buy wine. You're not going to buy cheese. You're not going to buy bacon. Stuff like that. So that is just the financial mathematics of it. The interest payments have more than doubled on the public debt, but it's equates to the same as an individual. Financial mathematics, the principia stands vertically the same, or horizontally, whatever the case. Both vertically, horizontally the same from an individual perspective. Because the GDP of Canada has not doubled. Sometimes it goes in a negative. Has only increased by a little bit, only increased by a little bit. 5%, 2%, 3%, sometimes it goes in a negative. It has not doubled. It takes decades to double, right? I think the GDP of Canada doubled in the past. Like it took 50 years or more than 44 years to double. Very rare cases in terms of country where the GDP doubles. So that is just financial mathematics. So what is going to have to happen? Public whatever service is going to have to be cut. What are we going to cut? There's a possibility for a black swan event. There's a possibility for a black swan event. There is a possibility for a black swan event. There is a possibility for a black swan event. There is a possibility for a black swan event. There's a possibility for a black swan event. And so we're gonna cut security services, police. We're gonna cut the prisons. We're gonna cut the garbage collection, sanitation. Pick up the 3 services in my neighborhood. Thank you, LOVE. Pick up the garbage. Pick up the recycling. Pick up the compost. Those 3 services, That's what I got. So you're gonna have to cut. Gonna have to reduce spending, obviously, because the interest payments doubled. So is the interest the problem? So something that there's no other way around this. But paradoxically, my DRT theory, debt refusion theory, which includes monetary integration theory in it, in my DRT theory, is integrated monetary integration theory, which is exactly the financial theory which was implemented in the European Union, And so, due to that fact, that's all we gotta get doing with that. Due to that fact, that's all we gotta get doing with that, So that's all we gotta go doing. So due to that fact, we have to implement something similar to my theory, the DRT, debt refusion theory, the DRT, or something similar to my theory, to my DRT theory, something which resembles it. Paradoxically, you can argue all you want, but just the numbers. It's just the numbers, The mathematical numbers equate that it has to be such, it has to be thus. There's no way around it now, where we are in this situation. Of course, due to COVID, and of course due to the implementation of the COVID protocols, that's just what it is. There's no other way around it. But my DRT theory, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the universal exchange, and my DRT theory includes monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is, of course, the financial theory which was implemented in the European Union. The Europeans, they destroyed the national central banks. The Germans, the Italians, the French, many countries destroyed their own national central banks. They destroyed the national central banks in Europe in the 90s, many decades ago. And of course they annulled their common currency, their local national currency, and they created a multi-central bank of many nations. And of course, a multi-central bank of many nations, they created a multi-central bank of many nations. And of course, they also created a common currency, 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 the euro. So we're gonna do the same. We're gonna do the same, you know. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So my DRT theory, again, something similar is the solution. You can argue all you want, but that's just what it is. Due to the numbers, the financial mathematics of the numbers is just what it is now. There's no other way around it. 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 And here I will to get my anonymous friend a house here on the Ramsey. My anonymous friend here a house on the Ramsey. Get my anonymous friend here a house. Let's go Oprah, Celine, Beyonce. She deserves to be 7 times richer than y'all and the 7 Kardashians combined. Anyways. So the DRT theory or something similar is the only solution. And again, you can argue all you want, but that's just where we are. Mathematically, the financial mathematics behind where we are with the public debt servicing, the interest we pay on the public debt of Canada. It's possible that Monday is a black swan event, and on the 10th or on the 11th or just before March, when the 30-day reprieve is set to expire, because you know we've been given 30 days to see where it's going to be with where it's going to go with the tariffs of 25%, which is a quarter. And that's when I started challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match in 2018. It's going to be 7 years soon since Donald Trump imposed tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel back then. And I got those red gloves gifted by my anonymous friend, and I got those red gloves gifted by my anonymous friend. You know, I got those red gloves. I used them a lot, auctioning them for a few millions a bin to lay the first brick for the goddess temple. But the DRT, back to the DRT because I digress. So the debt refusion theory or something similar is the only solution. Why do I make that statement? Again, due to the fact that we pay debt servicing, we pay 46.5 billion. That's 46,000 million, and the fact that it has doubled, that the interest, the debt servicing has doubled on the debt. On the debt. Debt servicing has doubled on the debt. Debt servicing has doubled on the debt, you know. Debt servicing has doubled on the debt. Debt servicing has doubled on the debt, you know. So that's what it is. Debt servicing has doubled on the debt. So the DRT theory, debt refusion theory, is the only solution, The debt refusion theory, So again, we're going to take all the private and the public debt. We're gonna convert, of course, all the public and the private debt, and we gotta get it on the XYZ, and we're gonna get it on the XYZ, and that's how we're gonna get doing on that. That's what we're gonna get doing on that, and that's how we can get to circumcision, you know. So that's what it is with that. Anyways, so we're gonna get it on the go, and we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, all the private and the public debt. So we're gonna take all this. I'm gonna explain now. We're gonna take all the public and the private debt, my $10,000, your $10,000, all the debt, public and private, coast to coast. We're gonna take it, and keep in mind again, my DRT theory includes monetary integration theory. So we're gonna take all the public-private debt, Canada first, but preferably binational together, implementing my DRT theory simultaneously at the same time. Simultaneously at the same time with the United States, just like the establishment of the NHL, National Hockey League, the Professional Women's Hockey League, also PVHL, Go Victoire Go, and the NBA, National Basketball Association. And here we are, as we go now. Look at this. Anybody already cleared? And you got a little bit of that moon full of the stars, and that is Orion. That means exactly opposite of Orion. We're going towards Scorpio. So the goddess blessed by the kisses, DRT theory. Anybody wills that I finance, that I go up and down these stairs 300 times. Go up and down these stairs 300 times. Dragon vs. Storm Special Edition, or dancing. Rainbow Dragon is that priestess, Hannah. Rainbow Dragon rock and roll is that priestess, Hannah. Rainbow Dragon, that priestess, Hannah. Adrian, Hannah Dragon, DRT. The dream, debt refusion tree. We're gonna take all the public and the private debt. We're gonna take all the public and the private debt. All the public and the private debt. My 10,000 included. Your 10,000 included. We're gonna take it all. Coast to coast, ocean to ocean. Converted into US dollars. So all the Canadian public and private debt converted into US dollars. All that money is gonna be the initial money supply. Converted to US dollar, added with the US together. Canada first, but preferably Canada joint together. If Mexico wills, and Haiti, Dominican Republic could be extended. Haiti, Dominican Republic, all the way to Panama, beyond the Americas, you know, blah, blah, blah. If Canada first, if not Canada, US joined at the same time simultaneously. We're going to take all the debt, public-private debt. Thank you, Hydro-Quebec, for the lights, workers of the past, present, and futures. Go electrification, go power plants of North America, go. Let's build some more DRT. We're going to take all the debt, public and private debt, all the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt, all the debt. We're going to add it up with the United States. All that money is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. That money is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. And we're going to create the UE, the new currency based on the value of the US dollar, the UE, U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. It's going to have the value of the US dollar. So the U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit, the UE, the U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit, the UE, based on the value of the US dollar. So all the money in circulation for this new central bank will be all the public-private debt and the money that exists in Concordium parallel. So with that money, we're going to be able to rebuild the infrastructure of the North American Collective, rebuild the bridges, the aqueducts, build more hydroelectric dams for more power plants, electrification, construct and build 44 tunnels, 44 the number after 43, before 45 is 44 tunnels, build, construct 44 tunnels in case of a thermonuclear war, and for the continuity of the North American civilizational complex survival, for the continuity of the North American civilizational complex survival, for the continuity and the survival of hundreds of millions of North Americans, the collective North American civilizational complex, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. We're gonna build that DRT. With that DRT, we're gonna also be able to mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, mass finance citizens to work out, to train, to exercise. We're gonna mass finance citizens to tourism, to tourism and for tourism. We're gonna mass finance them for tourism, and we're gonna mass finance the implementation of the Operation Northern Scorpio via my total mobile defense theory system, the TDMTS, total mobile defense theory system, the T, total M, mobile defense, D theory system, which I'm not going to discuss over much in details because it's something which I designed as a protocol for the North American Collective to be several layers of defense, security, and service by your truly Dragon Army initiative, part of the Operation Northern Scorpio for the 21st century. And this could be only discussed with my Uncle Bill Blair, our security services agencies, and for the implementation of my total mobile defense theory, the total mobile defense theory, the protocols, and to implement the total mobile defense theory as I go now in the woods. Do not advise fellow citizens to come in the woods deep, but I don't mind it, I just gotta be watching for the trees because they're not that healthy, and sometimes branches fall, and it's just how it is. We got some nests, and I love coming here, and I know my way, and I know the mountain here, my mistress, but I gotta submit in a harmonious equilibrium, balanced manner here with the goddess nature, here, now deep in the blackness, the pitch blackness. Paradoxically, I see better in the night from afar, less from afar, less from close, but during the day, I see more from close range, CLOSE, close range, where at night, paradoxically, I have better, like from far off length vision, and this mountain here where I'm, Mount Royal, can be seen afar off, from miles and hundreds of miles, hundreds of kilometers, right at the heart of Montreal, Montreal here. You can see some of those lights on the camera, which are blurred because it's a forest, right? It's a big forest on the mountain. There's a big forest on the mountain. And it's like my second home, my mistress, and I always love to come here. So again, the DRT theory, debt refusion theory, or something similar, brothers and sisters, is the only solution. I mean, you can argue all you want, but fundamentally, it is the only solution, or something very similar to my theory. Because again, debt servicing, paying the interest on the public debt has more than doubled in 3 years, from 20.3 to 46.5. If that happens with an individual, while the salary does not increase or doubles also, or more than doubles to keep up with the interest payments, you have to reduce, you have to go bankrupt maybe. You have to go bankrupt. Just like the public finances. It's possibility of a public financial collapse, what's called the black swan event. Worst case scenario, public finances of Canada collapse Monday morning, Tuesday morning, the 11th of February, the 13th, the 14th, the 17th, the 18th, the 19th, the 20th of February. Like we had that February crash with COVID, right? What was it? I'm not sure. In 2020, there was a COVID crash, which of course hurt the stock market, right? So that's what it is with that, and that's what we gotta get doing, So it's the stock market, so whatever the case may be, so that's what it is with that, and that's what we gotta get doing, So it's something which we gotta implement. Paradoxically, me having suffered, struggled, and been attacked by surprise, hit my head, and had a dislocated right arm, the shoulder, and right arm, and whatever have you. So that's what it is with that. Had a dislocated right arm and dislocated shoulder, fell in my head, lost some memory loss, and triggered amnesia, and lived with plenty of scars, and moved, got better, healed, was depressed, suicidal, cross Canada, coast to coast in 2017, more than 7 years ago, celebrating that, as I'm celebrating now 5 years of surviving COVID, but crossing Canada made me establish a strong esprit de corps with my fellow Canadians. And ever since then, I've been on a fitness journey. I've written tens of thousands of pages, documents relating to philosophy, protocols, mainly only firstly for the defense of the North American civilizational complex, for the defense of the North American civilizational complex, defense, security, and rebirth, and defense coast to coast. One of my protocols was the Citizen Initiative for the Citizen Integration Initiative for the peaceful reconciliation with non-NATO member diasporas, and the new 911 protocols for the North American Collective, which part of the new 911 protocols for the North American Collective, which was a series of documents where I written right after 2020 after I survived COVID. Started writing them started after I healed, around March, April. Started maybe March, late March, early April. Started writing them and have them on USB keys, tens of thousands of pages, along with poetry and a rock and roll song. And here I go a little bit on the rock and roll trance, but again, my DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, is the only solution, or something similar to my DRT theory, which is the only solution. And where we are now, just the fact of where we have arrived with the public financial situation, where we are now, as I'm going in the snow, in the forest, on the mountain, my mistress, my second home, Mount Royal, going all the way to the Belvedere Conjurnac, going all the way to the Belvedere Conjurnac, and then going back to rest for the Sabbath Saturday. Just rest for the Sabbath Saturday. And the Trinity theories, DRT, debt refusion theory, CIT, citizen integration theory, and the democratic fusion theory. Look at those beautiful lights. Somebody's getting that ski and beautiful lights here. Thank you, Hydro-Quebec. Gotta send some LOV, but again, the DRT, debt refusion theory, which includes monetary integration theory, which was the financial theory, which was implemented in the European Union, is pretty much the only solution, or something very similar to my theory, called the D, debt, R, refusion, T theory. So you can argue all you want, but that's pretty much where we are with that, because that's the theory. That's what we got to do. The DRT, encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. With my theory implemented, we're going to do a lot of public good. We're going to mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, do my workout, get some UEs, do my workout, get some UEs. That's what I'm calling my astrological brother Bill Gates of BlackRock and Blackstone, two financial institutions which merged, split after 1988/1989, and another Scorpio, Larry Fink, as is Scorpio above us. And we're marching towards facing Scorpio now. When we're going to go back, we're going to march towards my underground lair on the Orion, and at one point after 3 o'clock is going to be Scorpio above my bed and red chair anyway. So, and also another Scorpio, Joe Biden, but it could be Sagittarius, and Lions, Pisces, Cancers, all the astrological signs. It doesn't really matter. I just made a conjunction in the astrological realm as a fellow Aspie, who's also a mystic and also a philosopher, a AA, independent artist, independent athlete, and geopolitical theoretical honest and theorist. And my holy trinity of special interest, also known as obsessive interest, is geopolitics 24/7, sports and fitness. Dancing is my favorite sport, and dancing is my favorite fitness activity, and I'm always now busting a dance move with my feet, with my toes, with my tongue, with my eyes, with my head. So dancing is my favorite sport and fitness activity, and rock and roll, that's my holy trinity. Rock and roll, dancing, geopolitics, and this is my marching dance workout, busting dance moves, marching dance workout for years and years, financially struggling, stressed, but pledge your allegiance, the DGA, Dancing Goddess Army, and here Metropolis Army, big Metropolis City, Montreal, Big metropolis, big metropolis, big metropolis, 2.5 million people. Second most populated in Canada, among the top 10 most populated in North America, among the most populated in North America. Here we are on the go, and that's what we gotta get doing. The pyramid is my favorite skyscraper. We gotta do it on that, and that's all we gotta get doing on the go. So it's something which we gotta be doing. Always embrace myself as a Quebecer, Canadian, North American. Quebecer, Canadian, North American, as a Quebecer, Canadian, North American, pro-labor and love, revolutionary centrist. My centrism is North American collective, based on public private partnership fundamentally, and my revolutionary pro-labor and love, universal. Revolutionary centrism, my pro-labor and love, universal. Revolutionary centrism is based on fundamentally on my Trinity of theories. The CIT, citizen integration theory, the DRT, debt fusion theory, which I just discussed, and the DFT, the democratic fusion theory, that Trinity of theories to be implemented via the fourth dimension. Fourth dimension is LOV. That is the theory, the fourth dimension. Because that's the Holy Trinity. For the establishment of the dancing goddess in the dragon kingdom, pledge your allegiance, legions. Thou art family, pledge your allegiance, legions. Thou art family, pledge your allegiance, legions. Thou art family, friends with benefits only. Bury me with Papa Crowley up in Hampton, New Jersey. A third of me here on Mount Royal near Belvedere, Conjurac in the back there where those rocks are, where I will to build the scarlet, crimson, scarlet, red, help build my pyramid together. The house of the dragon, and on the Canadian-US border, let's build the forgotten goddess temple, the temple of the goddess of a trillion names, a billion names, a million names, forgotten goddess temple, for the GODDS says the goddess, because I created my surviving to the goddess, and the North American people's Imperial Coliseum, 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 which I will to build, and here we are, as we go, beautiful lights, and hopefully somebody making that LOV, black, white, and rainbow. If you're man, women, black men, white women, white men, all whatever, black, white, and rainbow, men, women. I'm androgynous, pansexual, but I'm gonna card your asses. That's like it's like in a club or just like selling booze, liquor. Ain't no fooling around. You gotta be 18 plus for this one. Gotta be 18 plus for this one. So, Rainbow Dragon General Cuckold. Still gonna propose again a marriage, special BDSM switch marriage. Still gonna propose again, special BDSM switch marriage. Special BDSM switch marriage, special BDSM switch marriage. Still gonna propose again, special BDSM switch marriage, But that's what it is, and that's what we're gonna get doing, So it's something which I gotta be mindful of, and something which I gotta be on the LOVE, something which I gotta be on the love, and that's what it is with that. And here we go, we're gonna go get it on the pyramids, and we gotta go get it on those pyramids, and I survived myself so many suffered, struggled, scars, retrograde amnesia, and I remember mostly about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 maximum years, and I just remember moving a few years ago, been depressed, suicidal, crossing Canada, and I know I have a high school diploma, but I have problems, blackouts of memory of my youth, adolescence. I remember mostly the past years of my life here on the mountain, on the island, and had a lot of employments and jobs, but due to Asperger's, it's always building bridges, because it's still misunderstood, there's still discrimination, and still it's not a mental illness, it's a neurological mental divergent condition, and it makes us predisposed to special focused interests where we can be intense, super focused, super concentrated, and we can seem rude, we can seem abrasive, we can seem a bit offensive, but it's not, because it's intended to be, but just we're different, we're different, and we're a minority, and it's just we can have our strengths, but also challenges and weaknesses and challenges, and weaknesses, challenges, and especially around social norms and interactions where it could be more difficult for us to have those more things that come easier for some, for the majority, I would say, maybe it would come more difficulty for Aspies to understand things such as gossip and things. We tend to breach personal space. We tend to get super close in conversation to people. We tend to inspect objects really closely, to smell certain objects, and certain objects which seem weird. So we're weird. We're deemed weird, and it's has been a tough road, but hey, here I am on the mountain, joyous, financially stressed, and singing that rock and roll. Ready for the rock and roll. Are you ready for some rock and roll? I'm just gonna say my gratitude again, grateful, thankful, and rent's paid, electricity bills paid, and sending some LOVE to the truckers, the bakers, the butchers, those in the daycares who change some diapers, construction workers, firefighters, those Hydro-Quebec workers, Hydro-Quebec workers, plant workers now, first responders, ambulance drivers, all involved in the production, distribution of food, all those first responders, and those preparing a coffee, putting some milk, cream, sugar in it, those in the grocery store clerks, warehouse workers, train conductors, welders, plumbers, electricians, public workers, bus drivers, subway metro system drivers of North America. Let's get that. North American Collective Workers' Party. Let's get that. North American Collective Workers' Party. NACWP, throw it in the air, NACWP, black, white, and rainbow, pledge your allegiance to our family, friends with benefits only, and we're mounting on the stairs now, so it went a bit slow, but see, I had to grasp because his stairs coming up and down. I just mounted some stairs, and it is because of the snow. It hasn't been snow removal, has been more difficult. See, but a black back here, the sides of the stairs I had to lean on a bit. Here we are, Montreal, Hakala, Montreal, and grateful, thankful, my rent's paid and electricity bills paid. Got food, got coffee, got some sweets, got some squash. Trying some squash. I didn't know what it was, but somebody explained to me that it's made from rye, or can be made from rye or from other products, and it's a healthier alternative to sodas, because it's more healthy sugars and no sugar added, no sugar added. So I'm gonna try that tonight. A new bottle. I tried it last time, it was so. Then I tried another bottle, it was better, and so another bottle. So I'm gonna try it, and I budgeted my money, so I really spend on the most affordable things on the market when I see it on special. But I like to explore. Sometimes I actually stick, unless it's for desserts or for certain things, I really buy usually this kind of the same pyramid wafers. They're called pyramid wafers, and kind of like the same hazelnut, and eat a lot of the same desserts, I would say, But sometimes I buy things to try out, I guess. I don't mind change that much. I don't mind, especially it would be financially economic, but I have my routines and ritualized routines, and geopolitics, sports, fitness, rock and roll, hours and hours a day as I march and dance, and here we are. Here we are. We need to get a little bit of the U.S. flag, Dragon Army flag. Let's see where's Orion Dragon Army flag, and we need to get some of that goddess flag there. DGA, where's Orion? There's Orion, so that means that Scorpio. Oh, there's Scorpio. I can kind of see the stars. See the stars is not that visible on the camera. But that's what it is with that. So that is the constellations. So if you trace Orion, the 7-pointed star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 3 in the middle. So from Orion you can trace every other one. And then Orion, opposite Orion, is the Scorpio. So that's what it is with that. And I guess some people came here. Good for you during the winter. And usually it's full here, eh? Summer, spring, autumn, it's at this time, it's Friday, it's full. Summer, spring, autumn, it's full house at this time. It's really people just chilling and relaxing. There are 3 fellow citizens there, or maybe tourists, I don't know, but here we are. Let's get it for it again. Grateful, thankful, my rent paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. And that's my favorite skyscraper there. That's my favorite skyscraper. That is my favorite skyscraper. That pyramid helped build the pyramid, house of the dragon, pyramid, scarlet, crimson, red. Scarlet and crimson are shades of red. And we need to put the US flag as well there with the Quebec and the Canadian, and a third one, the Dragon Army flag, and a third one, the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, a lion and a goddess with 12 rainbow children around the body, 12 rainbow children right about it, around the body, and a dragon and 7-pointed stars. The 156 code for my 93 gang, but I know what it is. And here's the headquarters of the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, and that's my favorite skyscraper. Not gonna straight home, and just gonna go fire and go inside and head back, because I'm miles and kilometers away that way, but you kind of not really see the river there. But grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bills paid. I'm ready for some rock and roll as we go for the mountain. Let's go! Ready for the rock and roll, you know. Farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, truckers, pledge your legions on the mountain. That's we go. H stars up in the style, yo. You know that I sing it. Strippers, give the truckers some discount, please. Rainbow Dragon, that's the planes up in the lane. Electricians and the plumbers, construction workers on steel toes with the cranes, you know they rock and roll. On the cranes, flipping some burgers, gotta give some cheeseburgers, gotta give some loving gifts. For the pledge your legions, let it twerk up into this. I kiss for a piece, that booty. Got the rainbow dragon booty, black and white but generals only. Got the rainbow dragon booty, black and white for generals only. Got that rainbow dragon booty, ooh. Black and white for generals only, so that you can see, and that you can be the scorpion that you see. For that French, you know we see. For that French, you know we be. On the rock and roll we go. Please, don't leave. Don't leave. This can be not that good. Can be not that good for the environment. Can be not that good for the environment, can be not that good for the environment. Here, if you leave it here, it can break, so I'm gonna put it in the recycling for you, so I don't mind y'all drinking, but please do not leave there because it is not cool. So we're gonna put it in the backpack and go put it in the backpack. I'm gonna suck it in, and that's what it is. Once again, we're gonna go for XYZ, and that's what we're gonna go for. That LOV, put it in the backpack. Somebody else came, and I'm glad that people came, and we're gonna get that rock and roll as we go for the song and melody. Got a kiss up in your C, got a kiss up in your B, got a kiss up in your C, got a kiss and harmony for the freeze and for the dough. For the freeze and for the dough, for the freeze and for the low, for the X and for the white and for the black and for the brown and for the rainbow. Got the collars, got the scarlet, got the collars, that a harlot. Bury me a harlot and a whore, bury me a whore. I say gotta kiss it for some more on the mountain as I go. For the chipping more, for the chipping door, for the chipping door, for the chipping door, so that you know that I got it, so that you know that I got it, so that you know that I hard it, so that you know that I hard it, so that you know that I got it, so that you know that I sing it, so that some people came it all the way to the top and cane it. I ain't got a cane it with some cane it. You know I got a cane it. You know that I gotta sing it, swing it. For the melodies and harmony, for the melodies and gotta see, for the melodies and gotta be, for the melodies and gotta be, for the melodies and gotta see, for the melodies and gotta see, for the melodies and gotta be. So, for the trees, you know we freeze us, so we freeze, you know we please us, so we freeze, you know we seize us. Got some more up in the honey, where's the bees? Honey, where's the bees? Honey, where's the trees? You know that I luck loaded, you know that I luck loaded. For the love, for the love, for the COVID. You know that I sing a soul it, you know that I sing a soul it. For the freedom that's told it. With the backpack, yeah. Got a backpack. Got a backpack. So I got that backpack. Gotta sing it as the pyramid, you know you see. On the top, you know I kiss. By the harmony, the rock and roll, you see. I gotta see that you gotta see that you gotta be for another D. And this says that may I be avenged. Daddy Lemfold, may I be avenged, Daddy Lemfold. May I be avenged, Daddy Lemfold, bury me with Baba Crowley. Up in New Jersey, a third of me. Right in the back here with the pyramid, House of the Dragon, scarlet, crimson, red. And House of the Dragon and a third of me sent up in the city of the pyramids. Up in New Jersey, up in Papa Crowley that you see. Round about it, that's in harmony. And I'm going towards that. Scarlet crimson, that's the scarlet crimson that you see it with it. And you see it kisses, and you see it blessings, and you see it kisses. We're gonna have to switch it to that French because we're in La Belle Province, so I said let's go. In 4, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5. Kisses by the trees, dragon legend, pledge your allegiance to our family. Et voilà, on est sur la montagne, québécois et québécoise. Je vous encourage à faire de l'entraînement physique est ça a été ma médecine et thérapie de jour ici sur la montagne, en regardant bien sûr la métropole. Je vais commencer avec la gratitude en m'en allant vers le scorpion. Le scorpion en arrière, c'est l'Orion. Pour ceux qui aiment ça, les constellations, je suis sur le Mont-Royal, ma deuxième maison, ma maîtresse, je suis pas marié, je vais demander encore une fois parce que ça va être un mariage spécial. Vous savez, je suis androgyne, pansexuel, messieurs, madame. Rock'n'roll, votre dragon arc-en-ciel de la montagne. Je dois commencer avec la gratitude. J'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai du café, j'ai du thé, j'ai de quoi manger, de quoi boire chez nous. Là, je vais me diriger chez nous parce que le sabbat commence à minuit. Donc, c'est la première seconde de samedi jusqu'à dimanche au coucher du soleil. Donc, quasiment 45 heures, quasiment proche de 45. Après 44, c'est 45. Donc, proche quasiment 45 heures de vendredi. Tard, 11h59 et 44 secondes. Et vraiment, samedi, quand ça passe, après minuit, la seconde, là, le sabbat commence jusqu'à dimanche, du royaume de la déesse du dragon qui danse, ou de la déesse qui danse et du dragon, que je fonde avec des milliards de bisous. Du 21e siècle pour la renaissance du Québec, la belle province et du collectif de l'Amérique du Nord, du collectif de civilisation de l'Amérique du Nord. Votre artiste, athlète, philosophe, salut les communards, les plombiers, les boulangers, tous ceux qui font dans le travail de construction, les plombiers, les électriciens, les travailleurs de l'Hydro-Québec, les pompiers, à travers le Québec, le Canada, puis les États-Unis, car votre Québécois-Canadien nord-américain, je suis mystique, je crois des réincarnations, des fois j'étais une femme, des femmes, en vous encourageant à faire l'entraînement physique, je suis joyeux, content, bonne humeur. J'ai quand même survécu bien des choses dans ma vie, vivre avec des cicatrices, puis je vis une crise, un stress financier en ce moment, 10 000 $ en dette, mais J'ai bien du rock'n'roll, bien de bisous, bien de marches de pied, puis la trinité de théorie que je mets sur la table pour l'implémentation, comme la théorie de la refusion de la dette, que mes chers Québécois québécoises, tant que vous voulez vous destiner, c'est la solution pour faire l'implémentation, c'est que je fais appel. Et merci les fermiers pour les patates, j'ai dans mijoteuse. Des patates du Québec, j'ai dans mijoteuse, des patates du Québec, j'ai dans mijoteuse chez nous. Des patates du Québec, puis mon ami anonyme que je dois lui donner 1 million, qui mérite d'être 6-7 fois plus riche que Céline, puis qui a bien entier, puis qu'on prend. Mais on va garder un œil sur. Mais j'ai des patates, j'ai bien sûr des galettes de bœuf, produits du Canada, tous les aliments du Canada, puis des oignons du Canada, fait que ça va faire un bon paquet quand je retourne chez nous à minuit. Pour le sabbat, ou peut-être 44 minutes après mon calcul. Ça devait être un minimum de 4 heures de marche, entraînement physique, un maximum de 6 heures, mais je pense qu'un minimum 4 heures et demie, parce que d'habitude, quand je viens à la montagne, je retourne chez nous, c'est minimum 4 heures et demie, parce que ça prend du temps, tu sais. Parce que c'est des kilomètres. Je suis loin de chez nous, en Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, ici. Ma deuxième maison sur la montagne, je suis vraiment loin, tu sais. Fait que quand je viens ici, c'est toujours... J'adore venir ici, c'est comme ma deuxième maison, puis des fois j'ai des flashs de réincarnation. Je viens souvent ici, mais je sais pas tous les fois que je viens, là, mais quand même souvent, des fois je médite, puis j'ai de mes vies antérieures, si vous croyez à la réincarnation, mais moi des fois j'ai été né homme, des fois j'ai été né femme, dans une autre vie, j'ai rencontré Louis Cyr. Dans une autre vie, j'ai fait du bras de fer avec Louis Cyr. J'étais né femme à un moment donné. Femme, je prenais soin des coureurs de bois, puis de préparer la cuisine, le ménage, des choses comme ça. Mais d'autres choses québécois, aux États-Unis. J'étais né aux États-Unis aussi 3 fois après 1776, puis j'ai servi dans l'armée des États-Unis, dans la même armée, dans 2 guerres différentes, 156 années à part, 156 ans à part, puis vraiment ici, tu sais, il faut prendre la gratitude, puis je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. L'entraînement physique a été ça dans ma thérapie de choix, puis c'est toujours un pas à l'avant de l'autre, puis je dis toujours que mon entraînement physique, mon conditionnement physique commence dès aujourd'hui avec l'appel lune, qui soit dans le ciel, la lune avec les étoiles, pour la danse de la déesse, parce que je crédite, tu sais, avoir survécu mes peines, mes souffrances, que j'avoir survécu dans mes peines, mes souffrances, puis tout ça, je crédite à la déesse. Bien sûr, j'ai survécu la COVID, donc je célèbre. Aujourd'hui, je commence à marquer. J'ai commencé hier, vraiment le 6. Aujourd'hui, on est le 7, vendredi le 7 février. Au début de février 2020, jusqu'en mars 2020, au début de mars. Le début entre la première semaine de février 2020 et la première semaine de mars. J'ai commencé à me sentir malade au début de février. J'ai commencé à guérir le premier jour de mars. Mais j'étais vraiment malade, là. En 2020, c'était tous les symptômes de la COVID, je les avais, mais ça parlait pas à la télé quand je l'ai eu de COVID, de rien, ça. Juste quand j'ai commencé à me sentir mieux que ça a commencé, puis ça a été déclaré une pandémie. Moi, quand je l'ai eu au tout début, je pensais que j'allais mourir. Je dis souvent, mais je suis mort de la COVID. Rien que je veux retourner en arrière. Puis je dis souvent, je suis mort de la COVID. Puis je suis en train de renaître avec depuis ce temps-là, Puis c'est pour ça que je célèbre 5 ans. Aujourd'hui, je marque, puis je fais une célébration d'avoir survécu la COVID. Parce que je dis souvent, je m'en souviens comment j'étais. C'est peut-être ça qui m'a causé la perte de mémoire. Je sais pas, la COVID, ça tue. Avoir la COVID, ça crée-tu une perte de mémoire? Je sais pas, peut-être. Parce que j'ai comme une blackout, l'amnésie rétrograde, l'amnésie, le symptôme d'amnésie, j'ai la misère à me souvenir de mon enfance, ma jeunesse, l'âge adulte. Je m'en souviens avoir déménagé il y a une couple d'années, puis sur l'île de Montréal, tu sais, des choses comme ça. Je sais pas, j'ai comme la misère dans ma mémoire. Il y a comme un blackout, là, de la misère. Je m'en souviens, en tout cas. Mais la COVID, j'étais vraiment malade de la COVID. Fait que la COVID, bien sûr, avoir survécu, bien sûr, la COVID, mais c'est des choses qu'il faut que je fasse moi-même. Puis bien sûr, l'hygiène en public. Je dis toujours, il y a des bactéries, des microbes, puis des germes. Fait que je porte toujours mon désinfectant. J'en ai 2 avec moi-même, là. J'en ai 2 avec moi, mais c'est important parce qu'on ne sait jamais. Puis là, en 11 jours à peu près, la CIA, le Centre d'intelligence, l'agence de la CIA, des services secrets des États-Unis, l'intelligence, ils ont dit que la COVID, c'est été créé par l'être humain. Ça a été créé biologique, ça a été créé dans un laboratoire. Fait que moi, j'ai toujours dit ma trinité sur la COVID, premièrement, j'y crois que c'est les serpents. Parce qu'il y en a qui disent les chauves-souris, les porcs, les volailles, toutes sortes de théories vis-à-vis l'origine du virus. Moi, je sais pas. Moi, je sais que je l'ai eu, j'ai eu tous les symptômes, mais avant que ça commence à être dans les nouvelles, la COVID, au tout début, je l'ai eu. Au début de février, puis au début de mars, je m'en sortais. Mais pendant un couple de jours, c'était intense. Je pensais que j'allais mourir. Je pensais vraiment que j'allais mourir. C'était comme la mort, la pestilence, la maladie. C'était comme la mort, la pestilence, la maladie. C'était comme vraiment la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. Puis j'ai survécu. Puis là, la CIA, ils ont fait une révision, puis ils disent que, ouais, ils ont fait de la conclusion. Moi, j'ai toujours eu ma trinité de théorie. Premièrement, je pense que c'est les serpents. Les serpents. Mais, je peux pas, mais je suis pas sûr. Puis, fait que je peux pas dire non à une autre théorie. Troisièmement, je peux pas dire non à une autre théorie comme une arme biologique. Je crois premièrement c'est les serpents. Deuxièmement, je peux pas dire à 100%. Troisièmement, d'abord que je peux pas le dire à 100%, je peux dire que c'est possible que ça soit une arme biologique. Une arme biologique, c'est possible que ça soit une arme biologique. Donc j'ai toujours laissé cette possibilité-là. Mais quatrième dimension, c'est que je sais sûr à 100%, c'est qu'avant la COVID, puis que j'ai eu la COVID moi-même, en 2019, j'ai conclu que l'humanité, on se dirige encore vers une conflagration internationale, une 3e guerre mondiale. Parce que moi-même, vous savez, avec l'Asperger's, je fais partie de cette minorité de gens qui ont cette neurodivergence, puis je dois toujours bâtir des ponts avec les neurotypiques, parce que des fois, c'est pas facile, parce que notre cerveau, il est différent. Fait que nous, les Asperger's, on a des intérêts spéciaux qu'on appelle aussi connus comme des intérêts obsessifs. J'utilise pas vraiment le mot obsessif, parce que obsessif, c'est plutôt pour quelqu'un qui voit ça comme une obsession plus dans le négatif. Mais c'est pas négatif vraiment, parce que moi, quand je suis dedans, dans le fait des analyses, dans la géopolitique, je m'en vais dans le retour, je fais des vidéos, des analyses des dirigeants, des paroles des dirigeants. Là, je vais aller voir qu'est-ce que les chaînes de radio, la télévision du Québec, des États-Unis, la gauche, la droite ou le centre, puis au-delà d'autres mers, ils disent, tu sais, de la Chine ou de la Russie ou des pays Israël ou quoi que ce soit. Fait que je fais ces analyses-là, profondément de la gauche, la droite, puis au centre. Et donc, de la gauche, de la droite au centre. Et donc, dans ces termes-là, la géopolitique, c'est mon intérêt spécial. Fait que je suis moi-même un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique indépendant. Mais j'ai écrit bien des documents, puis j'ai conclu, puis j'ai la preuve pour ça, parce que c'est la vidéo, j'ai conclu qu'en 2019, j'ai conclu que l'humanité, on se dirige vers une conflagration internationale. On se dirige vers une conflagration internationale, soit une 3e guerre mondiale. C'est ça, je suis arrivé à cette conclusion pour vous faire un résumé dû au fait que bien des régions, des nations, des États, des pays, des civilisations n'ont pas été capables de régler leur conflit à 100% du 20e siècle ou de la guerre froide du 20e siècle. Parce que la guerre froide, ça a duré quasiment 45 ans, plus que 44 ans et 9 mois, quasiment 45, proche de 45 ans, entre 1947 et 1991. Ça a duré longtemps, la guerre froide, entre l'Est et l'Ouest. Entre l'Est et l'Ouest, comme entre l'Est et l'Ouest, ou l'Ouest contre l'Est contre l'Ouest, l'Est contre l'Ouest, l'Est contre l'Ouest, l'Ouest contre l'Est, l'Est contre l'Ouest, l'Ouest contre l'Est, l'Ouest, l'Est, l'Est, Ouest, l'Est, Ouest. De l'Est à l'Ouest, comme le soleil qui se couche. Mais bon, Fait que, comme que ça dit dans ces choses-là, ça a toujours été ils n'ont pas été capables de régler leur conflit, comme je dis ici, toujours, au Québec, au Canada, dans qu'est-ce que j'appelle en tant que philosophe, le collectif de civilisation de l'Amérique du Nord ou le collectif nord-américain, parce qu'on est Québécois, Canadiens, Québécois, mais aussi, on est nord-américains aussi. On est nord-américains. On est des nord-américains, tu sais. C'est la réalité qu'on est d'une manière sociale, culturelle. On a deux océans à l'autre. Fait que, veux pas, notre intérêt principal en géopolitique, c'est d'avoir les meilleures relations avec les États-Unis. C'est d'avoir les meilleures relations avec les États-Unis. Puis notre histoire, notre commune, tu sais, on a un destin commun dans l'Amérique du Nord. Puis ici, on a fait le grand compromis du français linguistique de 10 millions de Québécois, le grand compromis linguistique, le grand compromis linguistique pour le français, pour le français, pour le français. Le grand compromis linguistique pour le français, puis on continue à le faire. Le grand compromis linguistique, c'est du français pour on continue à le faire. On continue à le faire. Mais c'est sûr, avec Nassé, on a fait des grands compromis pour avoir la continuité de la paix et de l'harmonie. Mais c'est ça que j'avais conclu en 2019, en octobre et en novembre. Puis c'est ça qui arrive. Ces conflits-là, ils ont repris en Russie puis l'Ukraine. C'est des conflits qui datent de la guerre froide. En Israël, en Palestine, c'est encore du 20e siècle. Potentiellement, la Chine, puis le Taïwan, c'est du 20e siècle. Ça date de leur guerre civile, ça. C'est possible que ce soir, demain, il y ait une invasion de l'armée de la Chine qui envahit le Taïwan. Qui envahit le Taïwan. Donc, c'est ça qu'il faut faire. C'est ça qu'il faut faire. Fait qu'on va devoir faire ça. On va devoir faire ces choses-là. On va devoir faire ces choses-là. On va devoir faire. Ben, c'est sûr qu'on a ce grand compromis pour le faire, mais c'est sûr qu'on a quand même des choses à faire aussi, du travail à faire dans le collectif de l'Amérique du Nord. Puis moi, mes propositions, mes initiatives sont seulement pour la défense, la sécurité, puis le service. Pour la défense, la sécurité puis le service sont seulement pour la défense, pour la sécurité, pour le service. Ils sont seulement pour la défense, la sécurité puis le service. Mes initiatives, mes protocoles sont seulement pour la défense, la sécurité puis le service. C'est ça qu'il faut comprendre. Fait que là, en disant ma gratitude, là, là, exactement, je marche vers Orion, puis en arrière de moi, c'est Scorpion. Fait que vers 3 heures du matin, quand je vais aller sur mon lit, ou sur ma chaise rouge, ça veut dire que Scorpion va être exactement en haut sur moi, en haut de moi. En haut. D'après le calcul du temps, là, vers 3 heures du matin. Juste pour dire 3 heures du matin, c'est intéressant. Le Scorpion puis l'Orion, fait que c'est comme deux opposés, puis parce que je ne vais pas rentrer dans la mythologie, là, mais là, je vais discuter la TRD, théorie de la révision de la dette. C'est super important que je la discute en vous encourageant à faire l'entraînement physique. Puis, bien sûr, encore une fois, c'est la COVID, mais la révision exactement, je ne sais pas exactement. Je pense que c'est des serpents. Je ne peux pas dire non à d'autres explications. Théories qui peut-être sont valides, comme la CIA qui dit, ben c'est clair que ça a été fait par de l'être humain. C'est jour, c'est nouveau, ça. C'était des nouvelles la semaine passée. La semaine passée, ça a été des nouvelles. Fait que c'est possible que ça soit... ça a été une arme biologique, c'est possible. On ne peut pas dire non parce que ça a quand même causé... bien sûr, en tout cas, fait que ça, on ne peut pas dire non. Mais qu'est-ce que je sais exactement, à 100%, sans doute, parce que là, on peut en s'en douter, mais qu'est-ce que je peux dire sans doute, c'est qu'avant d'avoir la COVID moi-même, survécu, j'ai conclu que l'humanité se dirige vers une collaboration internationale sur une 3e guerre mondiale. Fait que j'ai conçu, j'ai fabriqué, si on peut dire, j'ai créé, fait la création d'un système d'entraînement physique quand même complexe, mais simple, de simplicité de le faire, de le mettre en application, qui augmente le conditionnement physique, puis qui est fait pour aller avec une situation d'urgence de même, puis qui ne requiert aucun équipement, puis moi-même, j'ai performé, fait de la performance de plus que 372 de ce même entraînement physique qui ne requiert aucun équipement. Donc, maintenant, je vais discuter la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, parce que c'est super important que je la discute. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est T pour théorie, A, refusion de la dette, puis mes chers, mes chers Québécois, c'est la seule et unique solution en ce moment. Pourquoi je dis que c'est la seule et unique solution en ce moment? Qu'est dû au fait, bien sûr, que on paye sur les finances publiques. On a payé en 2024 l'intérêt seulement qu'on a payé sur la dette publique canadienne, c'était de 46,5 milliards. 46,5 milliards. 46,5 milliards, c'est 46 000 millions. 1 milliard, 109 zéros. Fait qu'imaginez-vous combien qu'on a payé d'intérêt, c'est énorme. En 2020-2021, le montant était de 20,3. Fait que si vous faites le calcul, ça a plus que doublé en 3 ans. Oui, à cause de la COVID, évidemment, le gouvernement a dû implémenter des programmes qui ont répondu à cette situation d'urgence de santé pour l'économie, pour les finances. Mais ça reste bien sûr que l'intérêt seulement a doublé. Fait que c'est ça que c'est possible qu'il y ait un effondrement des finances dès lundi, mardi le 11 février, mardi le 11 février, le 11 février, mardi, ou le 17, le 20 février, le 20 février, ou dans les jours, semaines à venir. C'est possible qu'il y ait un effondrement des finances publiques parce que, évidemment, si vous faites un calcul, mettons, parce que l'économie canadienne n'a pas doublé, là. L'économie canadienne n'a pas doublé en 3 ans, au contraire, des fois ça a diminué puis ça a augmenté de 2-3% seulement. Dans le même principe financier mathématique, c'est que bien sûr, en tant qu'individu, citoyen, consommateur, si l'intérêt double, plus que double en 3 ans, mettons de 156 à 333, sans que le salaire double. Puis la moyenne en 5 ans, depuis 2020 à cette année, en 5 ans, ça a augmenté en moyenne, les salaires ont augmenté de seulement 4,4%. Fait que c'est pour ça qu'il y a un problème avec le coût de la vie, que bien les gens ils ont commencé à avoir de la misère, puis dans les banques alimentaires, c'est parce que ça n'a pas tenu la parité avec l'augmentation des coûts de la vie, des loyers, des choses à manger, de la nourriture. C'est ça le problème. Les salaires n'ont pas augmenté. Ils ont augmenté de seulement un certain pourcentage, car les produits ont augmenté en moyenne de à peu près 44,9%. Puis le gaz de 2020 à 2024, 2025, en moyenne, ça a augmenté de comme 66%, 2/3, là. La moyenne en février 2020, c'était 93,9. Là, la moyenne est de 156,9 pour le 2024 ou 160, quelque chose comme ça. Fait que si vous faites le calcul, c'est quasiment 70 cents. C'est plus que 2/3, ça. C'est plus que 66%. Fait que c'est ça le problème. Fait que le problème, c'est l'intérêt. Encore une fois, que ça a doublé. Fait que si l'intérêt, moi-même, je n'ai pas de carte de crédit, j'ai une ligne de crédit, je suis en dette, je suis en crise, j'ai vu un stress financier en ce moment, j'ai 10 000 $ de dette à la Banque Royale. Je paye moins que 11% d'intérêt. Bon, mais si j'ai pas de carte de crédit, je n'ai pas de carte de crédit moi-même. Mais si quelqu'un a des cartes de crédit, moi-même ou toi ou quelqu'un d'autre, ou un citoyen X, on va dire citoyen X, ou Y ou Z, si en 2020-2021, il payait 156 $ d'intérêt, puis en 3 ans, l'année passée, il a dû payer 333. Et bien sûr, pour l'enfer, bien sûr, ça veut dire que si l'intérêt double, ça veut dire que sans le salaire qui double, ça veut dire bien sûr qu'il y a un problème dans ce cas-là. Parce qu'il va falloir couper dans le budget, il va falloir quoi? Vous allez couper quoi? Il faut payer le loyer. Moi, c'est toujours, je paye le loyer, je paye l'électricité, je paye le loyer, je paye le loyer, je paye l'électricité, puis je paye ma facture cellulaire, le cellulaire, parce que j'en ai besoin, tu sais, pour vivre, puis pour essayer de trouver de l'emploi, puis je suis ouvert pour les affaires, puis 24 sur 24. Mais bien sûr, c'est des choses qu'il faut qu'on fasse. Fait que si l'intérêt seulement, ça double en 3 ans, comme c'est arrivé avec l'intérêt sur la dette publique a plus que doublé là, en 3 ans. Oui, à cause de la COVID, mais mettons parallèlement, ça arrive avec un citoyen sans que le salaire, mettons le salaire, il augmente juste de 5, 10, 15%. En moyenne, la moyenne, c'est juste 4,4%, la moyenne. Là. Fait qu'il va falloir que vous coupez dans le budget. Vous allez couper quoi? Vous allez couper le Netflix, peut-être réduire votre Internet, aller de quelque chose de moins vite, l'Internet, ou moins de postes à la télé, plus de vin, plus de cigarettes. Moi, je fume pas. Plus de potes, plus de consommation d'alcool, plus de bacon, plus de saucisses, plus de sorties au restaurant. Fait que, veux pas, il faut que vous coupez dans le budget. Fait que c'est parallèlement, exactement avec les finances publiques. Mais qu'est-ce qu'on va couper? La police, les services de sécurité, les prisons. Qu'est-ce qu'on va couper? Les services. Moi, je dois remercier aussi pour la sanitation, qui ramasse les poubelles à chaque semaine chez nous, le compostage, le recyclage. Ces 3 services, c'est hebdomadaire. À chaque semaine, j'ai ces 3 services. Il va falloir couper à quelque part. L'économie canadienne n'a pas doublé, là. Le revenu, ça a juste augmenté de 2-3%. Fait que c'est le même principe qu'en tant qu'individu. Si l'intérêt que vous payez, ça double, là, vous allez faire quoi? Faillite. Fait que c'est possible qu'il y ait un effondrement des finances publiques canadiennes, mais ma TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ou quelque chose de très similaire, très semblable à ma TRD, c'est la solution, mais il n'y en a pas d'autre, c'est urgent. C'est une situation d'urgence. Vous voyez le paradoxe qu'on est rendu, là? La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, je l'explique maintenant, tenez compte que la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Donc, dans ma TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. C'est qui est la théorie qui ont fait l'implémentation en Europe, les Européens. Il va falloir faire l'implémentation de la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. Donc, on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée. On va prendre la dette publique-privée, bien sûr. On va prendre toute la dette publique-privée. Je vous l'explique maintenant, le plus possible. Hey, bonne soirée, bonne soirée. Vous allez me faire l'amour, s'il vous plaît, à soir? S'il vous plaît. L'UEC va venir vous rejoindre. Hey, salut, man. L'UEC va venir vous rejoindre, faire l'amour. Ah, ça, c'est une référence, bien sûr. Ouais, je parle en français maintenant. Fait que, des fois, je parle en anglais, fait qu'ils savent pas. Des fois, je leur dis des choses culturelles du Québec, mais ils savent pas vraiment c'est quoi, tu sais. Fait qu'il faut qu'ils soient dans l'alerte. Parce que des fois que je fasse des blagues, mais ils me voient sortir du bois. Ils disent, c'est qui? C'est étrange qui sort du bois, tu sais. C'est un étrange qui sort du bois. Sorti du bois, sorti du bois. Tu viens sortir du bois, du Québécoise, bienvenue chez nous, chez nous, chez nous. Bon, mais c'est pour en discuter, tu sais, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. Bien sûr, pour vos enfants, tu sais, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. C'est pour vous, tu sais, pour eux autres aussi. Ils s'en vont dans le fret, on fret, tu sais, puis je leur dis, faites l'amour à soir, ben c'est ça, je dis. ils l'ont bien pris, mais il y en a qui regardent un peu. Ben, j'ai l'autisme, hein, je suis Asperger, fait que des fois, je dis des choses un peu bizarres, mais parce que ça me fait... J'aime ça voir les gens en couple, tu sais. Moi-même, je suis bisexuel, mais pansexuel, androgène. Je fais l'amour, homme-femme, venez me faire l'amour, mais Fais l'amour bien comme il faut, il n'y a pas de trouble, mais je vous carte, hein. Je vous demande les 18 ans et plus, parce que c'est 18 ans et plus, je niaise pas avec ça. Je niaise pas avec ça. Je niaise pas avec ça. Vous avez en bas de 18, vous avez... je vous carte comme au bar. Comme dans l'alcool, comme au pot, quand vous achetez du cannabis, je vous demande les cartes si vous voulez me faire de l'amour. En tout cas, fait que la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. Théorie de la refusion de la dette. Je vous la discute maintenant. On va prendre toute la dette publique-privée. On va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, publique-privée. Fait que mon 10 000, ton 10 000, de côte à côte, on va la prendre ensemble. Toute la dette publique-privée, on va la prendre ensemble. Fait qu'on va faire, bien sûr, toute la dette publique-privée. On va faire toute la dette publique-privée. On va la ramasser ensemble pour en faire, bien sûr, un gros paquet. Fait qu'on va faire la conversion de toute la dette publique-privée dans la devise des États-Unis. Fait que ma TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. La théorie d'intégration monétaire, c'est exactement qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait en Europe, bien sûr en Europe, bien sûr en Europe. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, bien sûr, ils ont fait l'implémentation en Europe. Fait que la TRD, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire, ce qui est exactement la théorie que les Européens ont fait l'implémentation, bien sûr. Ils ont fait l'implémentation de cette théorie, et bien sûr, ils ont fait cette implémentation dans les années 90, la théorie de la théorie d'intégration monétaire, c'est la théorie qu'ils ont fait l'implémentation des années 90, ils ont détruit leur banque centrale nationale, les Allemands, les Français aussi. Fait qu'on va faire la même chose. Ma TRD, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire, puis c'est dedans ma théorie qui est la seule et unique solution à quelque chose de semblable, encore une fois, vis-à-vis comment qu'on paye d'intérêt seulement sur la dette publique. Vous pouvez vous assiner tant que vous voudrez, mais c'est ça la solution, la TRD de votre dragon arc-en-ciel. Théorie de la refusion de la dette qui contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Fait qu'on va apprendre toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée, on va apprendre ensemble, fait qu'on va apprendre toute la dette publique-privée, fait qu'on va apprendre ensemble toute la dette, mon 10 000, ton 10 000, de côte à côte. De préférence, on va faire l'implémentation au Canada premièrement, mais de préférence, comme l'établissement de la Ligue d'hockey nationale, la Ligue professionnelle d'hockey féminin, binationale, Canada-États-Unis en même temps, puis ça peut s'étendre jusqu'au Panama, États-Unis, l'Amérique du Nord, le collectif nord-américain. Donc toute la dette publique-privée, tout cet argent-là, on va mettre ensemble. Tout cet argent-là, la dette publique-privée, ça va fonder l'argent initial pour la création d'une nouvelle banque, puis on va créer une nouvelle monnaie qu'on va appeler l'UI. U point unité, E point échange, ou point universel. On va prendre tout l'argent en circulation, ça va être de l'argent pour la création de l'unité d'échange universel. Le UI, U point unité, U point échange, U point universel. U point unité, U point échange, U point universel. On va faire la création de nouvelles monnaies basées sur la valeur du dollar des États-Unis. C'est pour ça qu'on fait la conversion de toute la dette publique privée canadienne dans la devise des États-Unis. On va faire la création de cette nouvelle monnaie d'échange qu'on va appeler l'UI. U point unité, U point échange, U point universel. L'unité d'échange universelle. UI, on s'obstinera pas parce qu'en anglais c'est pareil. UI. En anglais c'est la même intonation. On va pas s'obstiner là-dessus. On va savoir de quoi qu'on parle. UI va pouvoir venir au Québec. Va dire UI. Fait que c'est ça qu'on va faire. Tu sais. On va faire la création de cette nouvelle monnaie, unité d'échange universelle, U point, unité, point échange, U point universel. Le UI. Avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir reconstruire l'infrastructure de l'Amérique du Nord, bâtir plus de centrales de l'Hydro-Québec, financer les gens à faire de l'entraînement physique, financer le tourisme, construire les 44 tunnels, les 44, le chiffre après 43, c'est 44, avant 45, c'est 44 tunnels pour, dans le cas d'une guerre nucléaire, bâtir ces 44 tunnels dans le cas où il y a une guerre nucléaire, puis mettre ben des canettes avec de la nourriture pour la survie de ben des gens à travers l'Amérique du Nord. 44 tunnels inspirés par la montagne Cheyenne, puis inspirés par le Montréal, le village souterrain de Montréal, le village souterrain de Montréal, le village du souterrain de Montréal. Implémenter puis faire ça. construction de ces 44 tunnels, ça presse urgent. Puis avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir faire la construction du Colisée impériale du peuple nord-américain, du Colisée impérial du peuple nord-américain, le temple de la déesse, la pyramide écarlate rouge, la maison du dragon, puis bien sûr, le palais du peuple arc-en-ciel pour ma communauté LGBTQ, pour ma communauté LGBTQ. On va pouvoir faire bien des choses en commun avec ça. On va pouvoir bien faire des financements pour l'encouragement, l'entraînement physique, le tourisme. Ça a fait du bien moi-même quand j'ai traversé le Canada. En 2017, j'ai sorti de ma dépression. Puis aujourd'hui, je célèbre, Marc, 5 ans depuis que j'ai traversé la COVID, depuis que j'ai survécu la COVID. Puis je viens de voir du monde en couple. Je suis joyeux, je vais à cause de ça, puis j'aime ça mettre les gens en couple, fait que c'est toujours quelque chose. On doit bâtir les tunnels le plus tôt possible. Fait que la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, il faut qu'on fasse l'implémentation, là. Ça presse, puis on va pouvoir bâtir des tunnels, on va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure, l'Amérique financer les gens d'entraînement physique, bâtir plus de centrales Hydro-Québec, puis fonder les 2 institutions pour le 21e siècle de partenariat public-privé, l'armée du dragon, pour la sécurité, le service pour la défense seulement, pour la sécurité, le service pour la défense seulement, pour la sécurité, pour le service pour la défense seulement. L'armée du dragon, puis l'armée de la déesse qui danse sur la ligue de danse, l'Integree nord-américaine pour l'environnement. That's it, that's all, rock'n'roll, amour. Rock'n'roll bilingue, trance. You know I go in that rock'n'roll trance. There's the Scorpio, and there's the Orion. And there's the dance with the shadow and the lights up in the mountain. That's the sight. You know I see the kisses and the hugs. You gotta be rock and roll in harmony, rock and roll in you and me. I gotta swing it, gotta kiss it, gotta sing it, gotta dismiss. Generals, I gotta clip it, gotta rainbow kisses with a twerk up in my face for world peace. You know that I freestyle lick it. Vous savez que je chante du rock and roll québécois pis québécoise. Avec ça traverse de la rue pis des chatouilles. Ben des mous pis des démons que ça chante, ben leur change. Des échanges, ben la lune, plein la lune. En revers de la lune, en revers des arbres québécois pis québécoises. Ben vous avez bâti des gratte-ciels, soyez fiers. Des centrales Hydro-Québec, buvez pas trop. Pas de bière, pas de lait, du produit du Québec. Bienvenue dans la province, ben lumière, hey, ça traverse, hey, ça traverse, hey, ben lumière, ben province, ben travail, ben comme faut, ben regarde, ben en loupe, ben soleil, ben des étoiles, c'est des soleils qui regardent, dragon en arc-en-ciel de la lune, c'est le scorpion puis Orion, let's go! And you know we got kisses on the shadow, you know that. We got up on the mountain, gotta get a kiss on left. Got a pussy, got a dick, gotta dismiss, gotta please, gotta rock and roll the sausages. And the buds, gotta lick, and gotta freeze, and gotta lick, and gotta freeze, and gotta kiss. I play rainbow, you know that. I don't mind the cold, the snow. Through North strong and free we roll. Truckers and the butchers and the plumbers, well, the welders, that's the steel. You gotta take some soft, that's the pillow. That's the sweet, the snake and sneakers. Gotta give it for the bleachers. Gotta sing it, that's the trees. Gotta hear the light and seas. With the shadow, that's the bees. I don't know. You know, out of sight. I'm in the States. And that's the Canada. Canada, coast to coast. How about those 50 states? From the Quebec, you know, we'll go all the way to Tennessee, rock and roll, California. That's Seattle, gotta be. That's the New Mexico, gotta pass it. By the Texas, by New York. That Vermont and that Maine. You know, that Michigan sleigh. For Massachusetts, gotta go. That Mississippi, gotta slow. Alabama. You know that we from the Alberta, we got a Sweden, that's Saskatchewan, got a Sweden. That United, North America, that's United for the love, that's United, rock and roll, that English and the French, Celine Dion. Hey, you know, we gotta say it. New Jersey got a devil, that's the Crowley, that's the head me. You know that I hay with, now we gotta lay with, you know that I slay with. Kisses every day with butchers every day, kiss on another prey, hiss on another slay this. What a light, this shadow. North Dakota, South Dakota, North Carolina, South Carolina. What a Tennessee, what a Harmony, Kentucky, Kansas City. Gotta get it for the doers and the thinkers and the butchers and the whores. Marry me a whore, don't slip on the ice. You see it, on the ice, see it, on the ice, see it. Where the lion that you see it. Auctioning that main and see it. Et voilà sur les escaliers de la montagne, Montréal, la métropole. Les mains la claque de la danse, mains ça claque de la danse, puis ça avance, besoin, Becherel conjugue. De la danse, rock'n'roll conjugue, de la danse, rock'n'roll conjugue. Conjugue, mais ça danse, les orteils bien avance dans la neige québécoise, puis québécoise. Pour que ça fasse bien orteil, bien regarde, bien privé, bien regarde. Que ça soit la renaissance, que ça soit bien l'avance. Que ça soit bien l'avance, que ça soit bien en garde. Bien en garde, bien à droite, bien en garde, bien ensemble. Pour que ça fasse ben du vin. Ben les raisins, écrase les raisins, écrase ben la neige, écrase, ça s'écoule. C'est chez nous, ben. Dans 17 régions, à 3 pistoles, à Sherbrooke, Saint-Jérôme, Saint-Mathieu, Saint-Adrien, il y en a deux Saint-Adrien, lequel? Que ça soit la juge, je dis ben, ça c'est ma déclaration d'amour, Québécois avec Québécoise, ben tambour, joue de la guitare. C'est sur le Mont-Royal, ça descend d'en haut en bas, ben, c'est un verre. Hey, regarde, ça boit, ben, s'il fait fret, bien ça, ben, des bébêtes, des lumières d'Hydro-Québec, ceinture, ça jase, ça tape, des logiciels, ça avance. En dessous des aqueducs, ces roches, sa montagne du Mont-Royal, à descente d'enfante. Va dragon en arc-en-ciel qui ça lâche, ça danse, puis je suis en train de m'en aller pour manger ben chez nous. Let's go, you know we got the rock and the roll on the road as we go, as the supper we go, as the supper we go. On the left and on the right and on the circle we go.